Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think that many Muslim women struggle with, and that is how to balance marriage and motherhood without losing yourself in the process, and how to navigate that in the way that Islam teaches us. So let's get started. As we know, of course, marriage is a blessing, motherhood is a blessing, but sometimes when we're caring for our husbands, caring for our children, trying to keep the house together, it can feel really overwhelming sometimes, and we may think that where did we go and lose yourself? And feeling these feelings is completely normal and human thing to do. You're not being ungrateful for it, and it doesn't mean that you are weak. Even the women at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they had moments where they felt overwhelmed and exhausted sometimes, as you can see from the example of Fatima radiallahu anha when she went to the Prophet ﷺ asking if she could have a maid to help her in the house. And we can probably think of many other different situations when similar things had happened. So I think the first thing that we should all do is to remember our first identity. We need to remember that before we were wives, before we were mothers, even daughters, first, we are the servants of Allah, and this is an identity that never disappears. So when you're taking care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul, that's not you being selfish. You're actually protecting the amana that Allah gave you. This is a trust that Allah has given you. Allah has given you all of these responsibilities. But there is also a hadith that where it's important, to the nearest meaning, just summarizing that, it's important that you take care of yourself because your body has rights over you, and that goes for the mind and soul as well. If you don't take care of yourself, if you don't fill your own cup, how are you going to be able to fill your husband and your children's cups? How are you going to be able to take care of them and help them? How are you going to be able to show up for them? The second important thing is to seek balance the way that Islam teaches us. The Prophet ﷺ taught us moderation in everything. It's not important that we do everything perfectly. What is important is that we're giving everything its right, and we are showing up the way that we can. Sometimes your husband is going to need more from you. Sometimes your children will need more. And sometimes you are going to need more. You're going to need to take care of yourself, spiritually, physically, mentally. And so that is important as well. Just as we have balance in worship, we should also have balance in our daily life too. My third advice is to communicate with your spouse. Marriage is a partnership. It doesn't mean that you have to suffer in silence. Communicate with your husband that how overwhelmed you are. Tell him how you would feel supported. If you did so and so, then I would feel like you're actually helping me and you're supporting me. So you can communicate with your husband and talk to him, because he's not going to guess either. It's a teamwork, it's a partnership that you're in. You don't have to carry it all alone. For a strong marriage, you cannot be pretending that you're okay when you're not. It's important that you're honest and you openly communicate with your spouse and you do this teamwork, and this will actually strengthen the bond between you. Because if you don't do that, then it's just going to create that resentment that why doesn't he do that, why doesn't he do this, and then you're going to start comparing that so and so does that and they do that in their marriage. So you might as well just be open and communicate so that he knows what you're going through and that you need help. And also, just because you're asking for help, remember that that is not you showing weakness or that you're weak. At the end of the day, no one is a superwoman here. Like, we're all just trying to be the best version of ourselves. My other tip or advice is that just to bear in mind that your children are watching you. So if you try to be the best version of yourself and you show to your children that you're working on yourself and you are also learning spiritually and also physically, your children are going to take that from you, and you become, the role model, and that's how they will take care of themselves as well when they grow up. But if they see you neglecting all of these things and you're not taking care of yourself, that is what they will carry in their lives as well. That's what they will try to do in their lives as well. And I'm sure that nobody wants that for their children. You would want your children to also take care of themselves, not just neglect themselves. So why are you doing that to yourself? Your children are looking at you always, and they're going to be learning from you. Allah is not asking us to lose ourselves while being mothers and wives, but Allah wants us to do everything with ihsan. You do everything that you do for the sake of Allah. but it doesn't mean that you lose yourself in the process. If this video helped you in any way, or if this resonated with you, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share with another sister who might need this reminder. And jazakallah for watching. I'll see you in the next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.